304, good morning. Sandy Riley back at you with another one. 304, I'm feeling a little under the weather this morning. Yep, I'm feeling a little sick this morning, and I think I know why. And I'm not talking about Webster's dictionary spelling of the word sick. I'm talking about Riley's spelling of the word sick, which is C.I.C. And C.I.C stands for courage, integrity, and character. You see, I haven't been totally transparent with you. I haven't been 100 or a buck. See, I haven't told you why I believe I'm the best candidate for your board of directors. I haven't told you why my sickness proves to you that I'm the best candidate for your board of directors. So let's go into my sickness right now. See, 304, you already know that I was honorably discharged after serving approximately 10 years in the United States Marine Corps. But what some of you might not know is that afterwards, I transitioned and I continued to serve you in a civilian capacity. You see, folks, and I don't normally tell folks this for a variety of reasons, but I signed on and I became a United States Treasury agent, specifically an ATF special agent. Now, the selection process to become an ATF special agent is an open book of your entire life. It's very in-depth and it's very intrusive. And the reason for that is because U.S. Treasury agents or ATF special agents are or can be exposed to matters of national security. We're talking about, folks, the country's most sensitive. But I feel that if you want the job, any job, you should be willing to undergo what's necessary to get that job, right? Does that make sense? See, the selection process to become a United States Treasury agent is very competitive because you're competing with applicants and folks from around the United States. And some of the things that are looked into or looked at are, for example, your criminal history, which needs no explanation. They look into your taxes, and the taxes will help them determine whether you're living above your means, for example. Your credit history. Your credit history is an indication of your honesty because folks are giving you something with the promise that you will pay it back, right? Your driving record, for example, is another one because the government provides you with the taxpayers or a car paid for by you, the taxpayers. If you don't have the responsibility, or if you haven't shown a degree of responsibility to drive your own vehicle, that's a pretty good indication that you're not going to show a degree of responsibility to drive or take care of the taxpayer's vehicle. Everybody knows what a polygraph or a lie detector test is. That's one of those things. That's one of the other things that, or one of the other steps in this selection process. A psychological test is sometimes given to applicants. What is that going to tell you? Well, it's going to tell you whether you're going to lose your composure perhaps in court or at a board meeting, for example. Are you going to start yelling or carrying on inappropriately to dishonor or reflect badly or in a negative way on the United States? And lastly, let's talk about a full field investigation. Well, what's that? A full field investigation, folks, is when the investigator goes and he speaks with your neighbors. Not necessarily the 3 or 4 or however many references they may ask you about or to put on your application, but they're going to talk to your neighbors. What kind of a person is this guy? You see this guy more so than perhaps anyone else. Is he having lots of parties with a bunch of raucous individuals? So they're looking for that sort of thing. Now, obviously, I successfully passed all of those benchmarks that I just highlighted. And I went on to have a rewarding career of 20 plus years. But what a lot of people don't know is that this process is revisited every 5 years. That's right. Every 5 years, I successfully completed this process. And the reason that this process is mandated is because United States Treasury agents are granted, at a very minimum, a top secret clearance. That's at a very minimum. So you get the idea. You see, 304, this process, or the number of times I had to go through this process, mattered not to me. You see, because I had nothing to hide. What do they say? People with nothing to hide nothing. Well, some people, I'm sure, might say, you could be making this up. I don't believe you. Well, maybe you'll believe this guy. Now 304, over 80 million people found that guy to be a pretty credible person. Twice. And he wrote, signed, and gave me, upon my retirement, this. Now 304, there you have it. And based on the totality of what we just discussed, meshed with everything else you know about me, I believe that I'm the best person to represent you on the board of directors. I believe that I've shown you or demonstrated a history of over 30 years of courage. And I'm not talking about the courage it takes to be a United States Marine or a law enforcement officer apprehending a violent criminal. I'm talking about the courage to say something when you see something, or you see another member or another board of directors member doing something inappropriate. Okay? I have demonstrated or shown you a demonstrated history of over 30 years of maintaining a high degree of integrity. And what that shows is I'm going to be honest and I'm going to shoot straight with you about how or why I took a particular position or a particular approach. And lastly, 304, my character. I believe that I've shown or demonstrated a history of over 30 years of a high degree of character. And what I mean by that is, not only my character is going to demonstrate to you, not only that I'll do what's right when you're watching me, but more importantly, I'm going to do what's right when you're not watching me. Make sense? So in closing, 304, this Saturday, May the 4th, I would like for you to vote for that guy, me, Sandy Riley, position number 2, Harris County M.U.D. number 304's Board of Directors.